Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie channel of TV. It's Tuesday, it's the day after, the night before, Sandro Tonali. The deal is now done, the £55 million signing complete. And like everyone else, the attention turns to who's next. What's next? We're getting greedy. Yeah, we've got work to be done here. Tonali hasn't even arrived in Tyneside yet. He should be here tomorrow, hopefully Wednesday at St James's Park, wearing the lovely new Saudi away kit. But for now, we have to think about who's next. There's still work to be done. Newcastle have to strengthen ahead of their first campaign back in the Champions League since 2003. So there's a few more positions that need strengthened, and one of those is a winger. Now, Newcastle United are in the market for a winger. Eddie Howe wants that hard-working winger to come up front, to get involved, chip in with goals, assists as well, but then it's fit into his system and work hard. Bit of intensity. Intensity is our identity, as Eddie Howe likes to say. And the man that's been linked for so long now, from Leicester City, not James Maddison, it's Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes is still linked. The Daily Mail have came out with this one today about Newcastle still eyeing up Harvey Barnes. However, they are battling with several Premier League teams for his signature. Now, Harvey Barnes is available for around £35 million. Leicester are willing to sell. They've accepted that he will be leaving Leicester this summer. He is on the transfer list. He's up for grabs. And there's lots of teams interested in him. And Newcastle are one of them. Eddie Howe's a long-term admirer of Harvey Barnes. It's the same as Maddison. We were looking at Barnes last summer. We've been linked with Harvey Barnes. He's been on our transfer shortlist for quite some time now. So will we pull the trigger on this one? Now, it's well known that, Newcastle are in the market for a winger and that we are in need of selling players. We need to make some sales. We haven't made a penny since the takeover happened. I think it's 12 million or something, but that's now, you know what I mean? Like the Chris Wood here, the little bit of that from Shelby. There's nothing being made. And the way you get around FFP, that's how Man City do it. Let some big names go, they sell some big players, get rid of the wages. Chelsea, for example. Very lucky that Saudi Arabia came in and took all those deadwood on high wages and move out of Saudi. So Newcastle, we need to get rid of one or two, and we don't have much value in our team of who you want to lose. Obviously, we could sell Bruno. Never going to do that. Don't want to do that. Who could we sell? They're looking at who could we sell, who could we make room with, who we're not really using that much. And the obvious one is Alan Saint-Maximin. Now, the Frenchman, who under Eddie Howe has never really got that massive run of games. He had a good few runs in the team, a good spell of scoring a few goals. Your Man City, your Wolves away. And then he drops off, and then he gets injured, and he's out for a month, and he comes back, and then he doesn't play for a month. It's very hit and miss for Alan Saint-Maximin. And I think it's because Eddie Howe doesn't really have ultimate trust in him. He knows that he won't work as hard, he won't track his back as much, he's not very good defensively. But the reason you have Alan Saint-Maximin is because he's a maverick. He's a luxury player. He can win a game by the scruff of its neck. He can score a volley like he did against Wolves in the last minute and rescue a point, rescue a result. He's capable of that. However, he goes missing in games. He doesn't adapt to our system, so there's question marks over that. I know Eddie Howe does want to keep Alan Saint-Maximin as well, by the way. If he didn't have to generate funds, he would keep him. However, he knows that he could utilise a Harvey Barnes style player a lot more than your Alan Saint-Maximin type player. I mean, in an ideal world, you could get both, but FFP, you can't. Listen, I think Saint-Maximin would be perfect for the Champions League next year. I think looking at Saint-Maximin, those away trips to a La Liga side, a Ligue 1 side, a Dutch side, he would thrive. He would absolutely thrive. He would have them on toast. He'd absolutely batter them. But he's sending out more cryptic messages last night, Alan Saint-Maximin, on his Twitter. He's saying, working in silence. Soon they will see. What we're going to see, Maxi, I've had enough of this. What's this guessing game about? It's not a trivia show. It's not the 1% Club. It's not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, right? What's going on? I want answers. It's not Batman, the Riddler. I just want what's going on. I want to know. Are you saying I'm working in silence, working hard, I'm staying? Or I'm working in silence, you'll soon see who I'm signing for? Just tell what's going on. Clarity, please, Alan Saint-Maximin. But he's back there on Instagram, dropping his cryptic messages. Where's he going to go? Is he staying? He's working hard. What's going on behind the scenes? He loves it, doesn't he? Oh, man. I've had enough of that. But let's see what the Daily Mail are indeed saying about Harvey Barnes as they reignite their interest after the Sandro Tonali signing. However, Tottenham, West Ham and Aston Villa are all interested in the England international. I mean, well, he's on the cusp of the England. They've said England international. I think he's played a couple of times, but yeah, he's on the verge of breaking in. He has played. He has made some appearances for the national team. 25 years old now. You know, price has been the issue, and cash conscious Newcastle are in the same boat, especially after committing 52 million to Sandro Tonali. But they still want to add a fullback, a centre back, and a forward who can cut in from the wing. So obviously Harvey Barnes really ticks that cutting in from the wing job. He scored some really good goals last season. Listen, double digits for a relegated side from the wing is really good, and assists as well. He's got some big goal contributions. I don't really get I just think it's because it's not fancy. You know, a lot of people are against Harvey Barnes. They, oh, what? Nah, I don't want no Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes? What? Barnes? Harvey? Not having it. Because he doesn't sound luxury, doesn't sound fancy. You'd rather sign some kid you've probably never watched, we've been linked with on Twitter from the Bundesliga, you've seen a highlight reel, and you think he's class. I mean, people want that because he's got a better name than Harvey Barnes. But for me, Barnes is Premier League proven. He does fit our system. He is a grafter, and he does score goals, and he does get assists. He's got everything you'd want from a winger, really, especially in our style of play. So I'd be a big fan of Harvey Barnes. I'd really like to see him at Newcastle. I think it'll be a smart signing, and if it is 35 million, I think that's a really good price. In this day and age, that's a really good move for me, a bit of a bargain. Because especially being English, 50 mil starter apparently. So they go on to say, you know, Newcastle have looked at the likes of Bilbao's Nico Williams and Barcelona's Ferran Torres, but Barnes remains in their thinking and has Premier League experience. 13 goals in that struggling Leicester side last season, and plenty of goal contributions as well. And you think how bad Leicester were, you know. So for me, Barnes, if you can get him a 30 odd million, I think it's a really good move. I'd be in favour of that. He would really suit us. And I'd like to see it. Yes, would I rather have Moussa Diaby or some extravagant player from abroad for big bucks, of course, but we've spent our biggest of bucks on Sandro Tonali. I don't think we'll spend any more than 50 million on an individual player this summer. But if we get Barnes in, and then what have we spent overall? 80 odd, 90 million. Can you get one or two more in there? Maybe a loan. Yeah. And then, because to be fair, you get Barnes in, our wing is looking really good there. You've got Gordon, who is looking like he's probably going to be a bit of a third choice striker for Newcastle next season, maybe with the way he's been playing for England under 21s. He can also obviously still play on the wing. And then you've got Miguel Almiron's great season last year, Jacob Murphy. If you've got those wingers with Barnes in there, and then that's why surely Maxi will leave if Barnes came in, because when's Saint-Maximin going to play then, when I've just listed those wingers, you know? Because he likes his Murphys, Eddie Howe, because he knows what he's going to get out of him. He knows he's going to get up and down the lane. And Murphy improved his finishing last season as well towards the tail end of it. So there's lots of options there. We do sign a Harvey Barnes. And finally, we'll touch on a Newcastle target that's been linked for a long time as well. We came close to signing the Brazilian last January. That is Matheus Franca. And he is apparently rumoured to be going to Chelsea now, according to Fabrizio Romano. They are ready to hijack Newcastle's deal. Newcastle have been looking at Franca again in the past week or so, you know, thinking it's a good deal. You can get him for 20 million, 25 million max. He can come in, Brazilian, young, great player, playmaker, technical, skillful. Not exactly the type of priority that Newcastle need, which is maybe why we haven't really pushed the boat out for him. But if we know that he can be available for 20 million around that deal, will we decide to battle it out with Chelsea for him? You know, Fabrizio Romano, like I said, has said that Chelsea are really stepping up their pursuit of Matheus Franca. So that's a bit of a blow, because again, you don't want to see a talent that we've been linked with and talked about and looked at for so long now, then go to a Premier League rival and do well. That's a kick in the teeth, in it. So that would be a shame. But we'll see if Newcastle do try and compete with Chelsea on that one, or I suppose if Chelsea come in, they'll be offering them way more wages than Newcastle will. You'll get London. Yeah, so they'll be looking to go to London. The Brazilians love it up here, Matheus. Do you know what I mean? They got Bruno and Julian and living the best life, mate. So don't rule it out. But we'll see. We'll see if we decide to go in for him. I'm just not sure if our budget would look at that as a priority. But then again, if you're thinking 20 million, especially long term, he's so young, bags of potential. I wouldn't be surprised if we thought, you know what, we'll go and see what we can do. But he looks like he will be making a move to the Premier League this summer, Matheus Franca. Who will it be? Stay tuned. Daily transfer updates for you here on the Magpie Channel TV. So make sure you smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give the video a thumbs up. Drop your comments below. And I'll see you on the next one.